Following this morning, a person is in the hospital after an officer-involved shooting.
Our Maria Kate is live at the scene with the details. Maria, what can you tell us now?
Aaron and Cerise, this is still an active investigation. The police lights might be off here on these cars, but there are still plenty of officers here on scene investigating, trying to look into what happened. Take a look behind me at the scene. As you can see, there are officers who are up, going and investigating on the property where this all happened. Right now, we're standing at the corner of 152nd and Spencer, and this happened just before 2 o'clock this morning. Police, they got a call for a burglary in the area here. When OPD officials got to the scene, they found a male suspect in someone's backyard. That suspect fired shots and then went through a back house to the front porch. Now, the man was then shot by officers in the abdomen and the hand. OPD says he was also injured by a police canine. One OPD officer says that the suspect was not compliant, and that's when the canine officer got involved. First Alert 6 was also told that the man's injuries are serious, and officers here on the scene, they described those injuries as critical as well. But OPD says that no officers were injured. Right now, there is no danger to the public. Again, they are still investigating here on the scene. When we learn more about that suspect's condition or anything else regarding this, we'll let you know either on air or over on our website, firstalert6.com. Back to you guys.
All right, that's Maria Kate reporting live all morning long for us. Maria, thank you. We do have more breaking news at this hour. One person is in the hospital after a shooting. Officers were called to the area of 8th and Pierce just before 3:30 this morning. There they found a woman who had been shot twice, once in the leg and another time in the stomach. We're told the bullet that hit her leg fractured it. Her injuries are considered non-life-threatening.
Also breaking, a person is dead after this crash this morning in Adair, Iowa. A car was traveling on westbound I-80 near the off-ramp when the driver, 20-year-old Devon Ernst, lost control. He was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from the car. He was declared dead at the scene. All right, in the meantime, top of the hour on this Thursday morning. It's good to have you with us on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
And I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford. We've got the senior chief meteorologist Rusty Lord here talking about October heat, which is we trying to wrap our head around it. Some of it, I'm okay with it, but I know a lot of people, I know.
It's just unusual.
It's very unusual.
It's more of a southern thing to be having this kind of heat, but not for us.
They're sharing a little bit today. So we got mid-60s as a typical high this time of year. That's where we're at this morning. Now we got a south wind that's helping us out. There's been a couple little thunder showers pop up, but you can see it's the clouds off in the distance here for the most part on the Iowa side with a couple of those. So shorts, sunglasses. It's going to be a warm day. Quite a bit of sunshine on the way today. And once we work through these showers that you can see here, and you'll notice heaviest of which probably north of I-80 as of right now. And as the sun's going to start to rise here, these will fade away and diminish as they move northeast. So in and around the metro, got a little one here on the south edge of Council Bluffs, one northeast of CB, and one right over Glenwood in the last 5 minutes or so. So that's pretty much the extent of these. It's not going to be a widespread issue. You look to the south, look at all this clearing down here. That will be what moves in, and that's what's going to give us our great day of warmth in mid-October that feels a little weird. 66 degrees with a little bit of a southeast wind. That will pick up today. Widespread 60s on the map in the metro and outside the city as well. No matter where you're at, you get 60s to start off the day today. Haven't really seen many wind gusts pick up just yet, but that will really ramp up here as we head towards the 9 o'clock hour with gusts then going 30 to 35 much of the day. That will help bring that warmth in. It'll also try to drag in some drier air, so the dew point should dip as we go through the course of the day as well. So that's good news. At least it won't be warm and humid. 66 by 9 o'clock still. Towards noon, we're in the mid-70s, and then we surge into the 80s. By 2 o'clock, we're up to 80 degrees. Picking the kids up from school, they're walking home in 80-degree weather in mid-October. The clouds then fill in, try to hold on to some of this warmth into the evening and overnight hours, right towards early on Friday, I should say, when a couple of showers or thunder showers try to drift in. Anytime after midnight, heading into the morning Friday. Notice, again, it won't be widespread rain by tomorrow morning, but there's going to be some more of these on the map to start off the day, and that's with the rain chance we have on Friday. 40% chance of some showers. It could linger as late as 3 o'clock, and then some more rain possible by Saturday evening as well. But you notice the temperatures, they're starting to cool down a little bit. Still not where they should be, but they're trending that way.
Okay, as we're getting into the weekend, is that trend continuing on?
It does look like Sunday's going to be cooler yet, but there's this system Saturday. I mentioned the rain chance that rolls in after 5 o'clock. It does look like that is going to pair up at the same time that you see this wind right here. So the rain chances after 5, look at the wind gusts that come with it. That's likely to be a wind-driven rain. The gusts go 35 to 45 miles per hour, I think, pretty easily. I would not be surprised by a gust up near 50 as this barrels in here. Sometimes it can be a little underdone with systems that are this potent. So it's a front dragging some rain in. It also drags in some drier air. Look at that beyond Saturday. The dew points are off the charts low, so shouldn't have to worry about humidity here, I would say, for the rest of the fall at this point. But 76 to 73 to 67 on Sunday. That's a lot closer to where we should be. 71 on Monday, and then a lot of 60s next week. But notice the overnight lows still not in the 30s. Have not been any colder than 41. Got a couple days that rival that, so we'll watch here Sunday morning and then head towards the middle of next week to see if we get a frost or a freeze.
Fall lovers will be pretty happy with that forecast
Yeah.
once we get past these weird couple of days.
Yes.
The pumpkin patches and everything are going to be busy.
I think you're right. All right. You know what else is busy? The interstate, and then there's trouble on 372, right?
Yeah, there's a few things that we've seen start to pop up. Go figure. But let's start with that crash that's on 370, and it's right at 36, where we're seeing some delays that have been showing up pretty consistently, westbound and northbound on 36 as well. Now we're starting to get some eastbound delays showing up as well. So this is an intersection where you want to be ready for some impacts if you're going to be driving into this area. Unfortunately, we didn't get information on exactly where this crash is, if it's on 370 itself or if it's on 36, but certainly we're seeing some impacts in numerous directions from that intersection. So we'll keep you posted with that one. Let's head to I-80, and you may think, well, yeah, we talk about I-80 every single morning. We do, but it's worse than normal. Look at how far those delays stretch back past the 680 interchange already, heading westbound as you're trying to get toward Giles. That's concerning to me because that means a ripple effect is very possible where we see some delays start up on 680 onto I-80, and that could potentially derail the commute in this whole part of the metro with that kind of thing happening. So just kind of a parking lot, very slowly lurching forward as you head westbound. Leave plenty of time if that's a route that you use for your morning drive, because not seeing a lot of signs that this is going to be improving anytime soon. So it's likely going to be pretty annoying for you as you drive through that stretch. I'm also closely watching 144th. Now, thankfully, we've seen the construction that was in place here at this interchange with Dodge wrap up, but we do have some ongoing work that's happening south of here, and that could result in both directions seeing some delays. Southbound, it's a pretty quick change to go to some lane restrictions. So as you get from this bridge and head south of Dodge, be ready for that and be prepared to get over into the right-hand lane. I'm expecting things to really start to bottle up and slow down on 144, so I'll be watching that closely. Maybe consider 132nd, 156th as some alternate routes to avoid being caught in that construction mess. A lot of the metro's moving along pretty well, but
That's good.
we do have those few spots that I'll be keeping an eye on.
All right, Jared, thank you. Appreciate it. News now. Frustrations continue to mount for supporters of medical cannabis in Nebraska. Not a single commissioner who'll decide on the final regulations showed up to the latest public hearing. Last November, voters overwhelmingly passed 2 ballot initiatives to legalize and regulate medical marijuana. Advocates say the current rules are undermining the will of the people.
Voted for sensible medical access driven by local communities, not heavy-handed restrictions that block qualified doctors or force patients into the illicit market.
Well, the Nebraska Cannabis Commission approved 2 grower applicants last week. The commission was supposed to get the licenses approved by the start of October, but were unable to after 2 members of the Liquor Commission resigned. The next meeting for the Cannabis Commission is set for November 3rd. Happening tonight, Mayor John Ewing's first of 4 town halls.
Here's a look at the schedule this month. Tonight's town hall is at the Salvation Army Kroc Center near 30th and Y. 2 additional town halls set to happen next week, with the final one happening the following Monday. All town halls are set to run from 6 to 7:30. Still ahead, an arrest after an assault in the parking garage of a local hospital.
Plus, more weather and traffic when we Welcome back, everybody. Sure hope your morning's getting off to a nice start. Temperature-wise, we're sitting pretty. We're at 66 degrees, or in the 60s at least right now. Let's check in with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, because we're only going to warm up from there, Russ.
We actually been 90 twice this month, but so we're not going to get close to that. But another incredibly warm day. Yeah. And probably the warmest we'll have the rest of the month. 83 degrees for that afternoon high today, with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. As we march through, we got a couple of showers that you can see over the last hour or so. The trends have been for these to weaken considerably. So there's just a little burst of some showers here as we started off the day. Everything's on the Iowa side of the river now, Silver City to Macedonia up towards Oakland and moving northeast. And the bigger picture shows how there's not much to these. Most of those are central and eastern Iowa, but they're moving away. Clouds are going to do the same, and the car wash forecast is a bit risky because of that shower chance. There's more possible tomorrow morning. Again, Saturday, you can get it washed. It might be tough to keep clean depending on your routine. Let me show you the rain chances that, well, will drop off pretty quickly here this morning because we're going to take a lot of the humidity out of the air today, so that's good news. By the afternoon, should be noticeably less humid. South wind brings in a little drier air, gusts near 30 to 35 today. 3-day forecast takes us to 76 on Friday. And yeah, there could be some isolated thunder showers after midnight tonight heading into Friday morning. A couple of those drifting off, and then a few more mid to late morning here with those moving through. 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see they're east for the most part and out of here. And then the rest of the day, we get a chance to warm to 76, a lot like we did yesterday. Pay attention to Saturday. First alert to that day, because there's going to be a blast of some wind and some showers. Now, this little round of rain here that's rolling in by 4 or 5 o'clock, likely to be pretty brief, maybe an hour. And then it zips through 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and notice how fast it's moving through. But along with it, some wind is going to come. So this is the back edge of a system. If we were in January, that would be a pretty heavy, intense band of snow that moves in. combined with the wind and falling temperatures. But we're going to get wind and rain, it looks like, after 5 o'clock Saturday. And notice here, gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour easily after 4 o'clock. Could have some that try to spike near 50 as it moves through. Would not surprise me in the least bit. Then it's another one of these we may have to watch heading into Monday as some showers develop to the northwest. And there you are, Monday evening, that moving through, and that could pick up the wind again for Monday. So you notice the changes. There'll be a lot of wind shifts. South winds become northwest winds and back and forth here. And you can see Saturday is one of those days. Monday starting to trend towards one of those days. And the overnight lows dip down at the coolest in the 40s, the way things are shaping up right now. So still pretty mild. Every one of those afternoon highs still above average.
Seeing a lot of windy and breezy days ahead. Does that also continue to the 10-day?
That is the way it's looking, unfortunately, Aaron. So you got a lot of fall wind shifts, and we got them for 5 days. I think Tuesday and Wednesday probably doing the same thing here, with a little more shower potential on Wednesday. Highs in the 60s, morning lows in the 40s. The next threat of any frost or a freeze may try to show up Wednesday or Thursday morning of next week. But again, right now the coolest we have is in the 40s. And you can see this list. We have not been in the 30s yet. We get to Tuesday of next week, and we're going to be on this list of the latest times we've ever gone into a season without a 30-degree reading. So
We're going to make the list, Russ.
the way things are looking right now, probably.
All right, let's get an update on traffic. Are we looking any better out there?
You sound so
That would be a
confident.
no.
Well, let me show you how it's
Okay.
looking
Okay.
out there. Here's what we've got. Now, a lot of places are doing pretty well. I will say that. Dodge, they're around 144th, no big issues. So far, we're holding up in okay shape on 144th. I'll show you that a little closer to the south of that Dodge interchange in just a bit. This is our big problem spot that just is not improving. And this is I-80. As you're making your way through that construction zone, you can see some work that's happening. Probably the core driver of why things are so slow as you're making your way around Q and toward Giles westbound. And all the way backed up into the 680 interchange. As I was saying, I was concerned that we may start spilling onto 680 proper, and that's starting to happen. So be ready for things to be quite backed up. As you're heading southbound on 680 around center, perhaps that continues to build. I-80 westbound also starting to slow down as you're approaching the 680 interchange. So this is likely going to be kind of a hot mess all morning long. We'll continue to track it. Still have that crash at 36th and Highway 370, both directions of 370, pretty slow as you're approaching that intersection. Check up as you head into that area and watch for the crews working. And then I mentioned 144th. Both directions, some lane restrictions that are in place. In both directions, it's the left lanes that are closed. So you need to stay right. We're seeing the delay showing up as you're heading northbound. Southbound, I do anticipate that becomes a one-lane travel. Doesn't look like it's there just yet. That may hold until after the morning drive, but be ready for that possibility that you're looking at some slowdowns in both directions on 144th. And 132nd, 156 look awfully good right now. Those would be some good alternate routes. One more I want to get in here real quick for our CB drivers. Look at how slow things are. Highway 92 and Harry Langdon in all directions. So if you're heading into this area, maybe toward Lewis Central, be ready for some delays as you're in that part, because it's quite the slowdowns that are showing up in all directions at that intersection at this time. We'll continue to track all these issues and keep you posted on the latest with those.
All right, Dirt, thank you very much. In the meantime, Omaha police announcing the arrest in a frightening robbery and the strangulation case that we first told you about last week.
That's right. Methodist hospital officials told us one of their nurses was assaulted and robbed at an employee parking garage near 83rd and Dodge on October 4th. Now, the staff member was able to escape, drive to the Methodist ER, and alert security. Officers arrested Mocktaven Dial on several charges, including attempted sexual assault. We're back after this. A New Zealand man is now reaffirmed as the holder of the world's longest name.
So for everyday use, he goes by Lawrence Alon Aloy Watkins. But for his full name, it is more than 2,200 words long. It takes about 20 minutes to recite. It fills 7 pages on his birth certificate, which is right there. Watkins got his original Guinness World Records certificate for the world's longest Christian name in 1992.
How?
Why?
How?
Why so many names?
I don't know. And he still uses 4 of them for everyday use.
Yeah.
So is it like all a bunch of middle names, or is it like this many first names, this many middle
We
names?
just don't know.
Okay, our producer's saying middle names.
Oh, those are all his middle
All
names.
his middle names.
That's a lot of middle names.
All right, then.
Goodness.
We're just going to stick with our 3 names. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on the roads this morning with Jarrett Lansford.
I'll tell you what, I-80 is a mess in that construction zone, more than usual. As you're going westbound, you can see it's a parking lot in the entire shot, which that's leading up to about L, but the delays extend even further than that. You can see into the 680 interchange. You're going southbound on 680, you have delays in your center that are starting to build, and as you approach the 680 interchange on westbound I-80. So be ready for it to take quite some time to get through that stretch. Not our only issue either. We do have a crash at 36 Highway 370. All directions are slow as a result of that one. And we've also been seeing some delays build on the northbound JFK. Harry Langdon Highway 92 in CB. You're looking at quite the delays in all directions as well. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Been keeping an eye on the radar with a couple of showers that have popped up here in the last couple of hours. They are moving to the northeast and fizzling a little bit, so we'll see. This might be a little bit of development over the metro. Could also be bugs and birds that show up this time of the morning as well. So this is something we'll be keeping an eye on. South wind gusts up near 30 to 35 miles per hour, probably the bigger story today. That's going to drag in the warmth, so you'll notice the blustery winds, the dew points that drop off into the afternoon, so a little more comfortable air, but we climbed to 83 degrees for the high this afternoon after starting off in the 60s. It is a warm morning out there, and it'll be a very warm October afternoon. Aaron?
Breaking news, we are following closely. A person is in the hospital after this officer-involved shooting. Authorities responding to a burglary in progress call at 152nd and Spencer just before 2 o'clock this morning. Now, police tell us when they arrived, they found a suspect in somebody's backyard. That suspect then firing shots, then went back through a house to the front porch where he was shot by officers in the abdomen and the hand. According to OPD, the suspect also received injuries from a canine.
Well, it is 7:28, and we're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.
Popping up as birds.